Howdy folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician here. Making another video for you out of Boise, Idaho. Having a cup of coffee. I've got some couple jobs. For some reason, I don't know, I have all these jobs that have rusted bolts, seized up O2 sensors, broken water pump bolts. I've got 3 different cars. One of them is basically a frame and engine and transmission rust restoration job. I mean, everything on this Toyota is rusted and destroyed and corroded. The exhaust manifold is glued to the engine block basically with rust. It's just a mess. I got that I'm messing with. Then I got this Buick Park Avenue Ultra that came in. It's got a seized up O2 sensor that I just can't get out for the life of me. I've been at it for days on it. And then I get this Jeep Grand Cherokee that comes in. And honestly, I've been down this road before with these old like Jeeps and Fords and Chevys and stuff, Blazers, Cherokees. You go to pull the water pump off, it's been leaking around the gasket or the bolt, and it corrodes the bolt, and the bolt breaks off. And so I got about like an inch worth of studs sticking out, and I got the water pump off. So there's nothing I can really do right now. I really don't want to get into drilling and cutting and tapping all this stuff out. So everything's just soaking right now. So I don't have much to do. I've been pretty busy lately. That's why I haven't posted. Just catching up. School started. I've got 3 out of 4 babies in school now. So life is changing for me, because the whole reason why I started ultimately working from home was because childcare is through the roof, and we started having babies left and right, and we just wanted to keep a parent home at all times with the kiddos and all that other stuff, and working on cars is something I could easily do out of the garage. So that's ultimately how I really got started, and the main reason. But actually here the next year or so, I'm going to be without kiddos, because my 4-year-old Nero, he goes to school not this October, but next October, so a year from now, which means I'll be free to do all kinds of stuff with my little shop here and whatnot. I do have a pretty good, awesome customer base built up. So what I'd really like to do is get out of this house and this little garage and get a bigger house. My kids are getting bigger and stuff, so maybe get a little bit of a bigger house, kind of on some property out in the county somewhere where there's really no restrictions, and then just put a separate shop out in the back of the property or something, and just keep it simple and all that other stuff. My goal in life, I've decided, is not wealth. It's to always be there for those in need. And I think if I just make a little home shop somewhere and keep the overhead low, just enough to pay the bills and all that other good stuff while helping people out in my community, I think that's a good balance there. And in the end, I think all the materialistic stuff will just take care of itself. So that's ultimately where I hope, like, the YouTube channel and all that other stuff, kind of the direction that all the automotive stuff that I'm doing goes and grows, and all that other good stuff. If you've been following me for a couple years now, I think there's a few of you, then you know that I'm pretty deeply involved with foster care reform here in Idaho, and I'm involved as a former foster child myself. So long story short, I was abandoned by my mother sometime around 10 months old, I guess, and I was abandoned in such a way that I can't find her. I think the only way I'm going to be able to find her at this point is to take a DNA test, and I'm kind of on the fence about doing that right now. But there's no records. I can't find records of a birth. I can't find records of prenatal, postnatal care. All I can do is find records of her abandoning me around 10 months. And then from there, I spent about, from what I understand, 2.5 years in foster care. And then I was adopted by the family that gave me my name, Matthew Shaughnessy. And, unfortunately, they were a family that never should have been allowed to adopt a kiddo. And eventually I ended up right back in the system as what's known as a ward of the state. And I was bounced from foster home to what's known as residential treatment center, boys' homes, stuff like that. I was bounced around until I was 18, and then I graduated out of the system without a hope and a prayer, without any life skills whatsoever. I mean, yeah, I was a mess when I graduated out of the system at 18 and unleashed upon society. However, I did realize that regardless of all that, regardless of anything in my past. Nothing in my past gave me the right or honestly reason to dictate my future and unleash anger and, you know, act like a fool and all that other stuff. I realized that I could make a choice to overcome all of that and enjoy the riches in life that I never had growing up, and that's a family and all that other good stuff. So nowadays, again, longer story short, here I am today, and I'm Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician. I got a wonderful wife. She's happy. Wife's happy. I've got 4 beautiful babies, 3 boys and a girl. And, you know, the babies are happy, and they know nothing of anything that I experienced growing up. I mean, they know daddy doesn't have a family as far as, like, grandmas and grandpas and moms and dads and aunts and uncles and cousins and all that goes. Because, you know, obviously we don't have anybody that comes around for Christmas time and stuff like that, which is considered the normality, I guess, in our life and culture and all that other stuff. But as far as the pain, the suffering, the anger, the neglect, all that, the face of abuse, the bureaucracy, everything that I experienced growing up, my babies don't know. So that's definitely a blessing and a plus. So nowadays, I do spend a lot of time doing what I can, advocating for foster care and foster care reform, and doing everything I can to share my experiences, my pain, my suffering with, like, senators, legislators, and people that are in position of power, so that they can better understand what they can do to put the proper laws, regulations, transparency, stuff like that in place, so that way we can ensure that the next generation of foster children within our society, culture, and country don't have to go through unnecessary pain and suffering and neglect, and still get all the same opportunities that everybody else gets, because there's definitely an issue with foster care in our country. So that's something that I'm real passionate about. And so I work with a small nonprofit organization called Project Kids Quest, and I mentor a young man that just graduated out of foster care, and it's actually been going great. So you'll probably see some of him on the YouTube channel. I'm real excited. He catches on real quick. He's pretty much hands-on, so I show him how to do something one time, and he does it, and it's really cool to see somebody come from where you come from, and just love on them a little bit and give them a little hope and just be their friend pretty much, and you have something in common. It's cool to see somebody like bear fruit and flourish like that. So you'll probably see a lot more of, like, Project Kids Quest stuff. I'll post their link for their YouTube channel on the description here, and you'll probably see every now and then some foster care posts. I'll give you some updates as to what we're doing here in Idaho and how foster care reform is helping people and all that other good stuff and whatnot. And so other than that, I'm just going to kind of continue running the channel how I have been. I don't really have a set time or date that I post stuff. I don't know, maybe you guys want me to just build up videos and then post them once a week, like on a Friday afternoon or something. But if not, I'm just gonna kind of like keep it real. I'm as simple as you get. You know, I got a wife, 4 kids to feed and stuff. I use my phone to make any and every video and all that other stuff. I'm not like got a big production thing or anything going on. What I really enjoy doing is sharing the knowledge and then getting emails that say, hey man, I used your video to fix my car and I saved, you know, $100. Thank you so much. That makes me a rich man. I love hearing those stories, so I think that's pretty cool. So, but other than that, guys, I mean, this little business in China started. It's got its ups and downs and learning stuff. I'm definitely a great mechanic. I'm a growing and learning businessman. That's for sure, and sometimes I make some mistakes and I have to pay for those mistakes, and that's no fun. But I'm also learning that that's just business in general, so don't be too hard on myself on that. And and all that other good stuff. So after this video, I'm going to post a video where I go over talking about how to buy a used car. That's something else that I've been doing a lot of recently. I'm going to say in the past year, and I really don't charge people for it. Sometimes I have because they insist, but I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me about buying used cars, and I noticed that there's actually some points in buying a used car that are not mechanical that I know about, and when I buy a used car, I implement into the buying process that kind of help me make sure I am buying something that is mechanically sound and all that other good stuff. So my next video, I was going to talk about buying a used car and some of the things you can look for, some of the things you can think about, and all that other good stuff. So other than that, I'm going to go out here and check these bolts that I'm soaking in PB Blaster. Who knows, maybe this will be the moment that I go and all of a sudden it just turns. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to me for now 11 minutes. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching my videos, and thank you so much for all the positive feedback that I get. I definitely live and feed off of it. Alright guys, well this is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician. I am signing off. Bye guys.